Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. And today I'm back with another review for you guys. And as you know, I have been watching all the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Well, rewatching them. I've watched them numerous of times. But we are here with Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Nightmare on Elm Street 4. I just legit finished watching this. This is one, as I was watching, that I really remember watching a lot of because I really like it. Like, I forgot how much I like Nightmare on Elm Street 4. I know people really hate this film. You know, I started off, Freddy's not scary in this. That's a problem that I have, that Freddy's not scary in this, but Freddy not being scary, it doesn't bother me that much. I do wish they kind of kept the Freddy from 3 because 4 is a straight continuation. Would have made sense, but you know, I think Freddy has some of the best one-liners in the whole franchise. Um, you know, some of the best kills, to me, some of the most creative kills in horror is in Nightmare on Elm Street 4. I think, you know, Freddy's makeup is really good. To me, it kind of looks like the production value really went up on this one. I think the glove looks awesome, which, if you're a hardcore Freddy fan, you know in each film the glove changes, whether that be big changes or just slight changes. Now, the characters. As you know, Kristen, she was in part 3. Well, there was a small recast. That doesn't bother me because the girl who played the actress, which I forgot her name, but the new girl who plays Kristen, she kind of looks like the girl who played Kristen in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. When I was 9, when I was 8 or 10 years old, the first time I saw Nightmare on Elm Street 4 was when I was 8, 10 years old, 2008, 2010. That's the first time I saw it. And I remember watching part 3, part 4 back to back because I was having a marathon. Like I said, this was 2008, 2010. And I did not notice that they recasted Christian. Like, I didn't notice that they recasted Christian until I think a year or 2 years later. It was like I started getting into horror like around 2008, but I started really getting into like the deep history of horror probably around 2012. So I didn't find that out probably till then. So that, you know, it never really bothered me. You know, Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, Kincaid's in there, Joey's in there. I think Kincaid, I don't know why, but I always feel like Kincaid and even Kristen, they kind of died too early. I would have liked them. I would love to have seen them fight alongside Alice, but I can understand why they got killed off. You know, Kincaid was one of my favorite characters from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and I wish he didn't die. I wish he didn't. But I know why he had to. And Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is really the right way. It's, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is the correct way to introduce new characters and old characters. It's the right way, and they did the right way. And that's, some horror films, some horror sequels, some horror remakes do that terribly. Like, what's that one horror movie? I can't think of. There's some horror movie I forgot the name of, but they have returning characters and new characters. Scream 4. That was one of my biggest nitpicks in Scream 4. I love Scream 4 to death. Love that film. It's way better than 3. But that was just a small nitpick I have with Scream 4. They didn't know who to focus on. You know, with Nightmare on Elm Street 4, they found the formula of how to introduce new characters and old characters. It was done very, very, very flawlessly. Um, I do love the whole junkyard whole scene where Freddy's killing um, that girl that was lifting the weights, and like she turns into a roach. Like, that scene, like, makes me smirk because it's kind of funny, like to me, because like like I said, this one has some of the best kills in the whole franchise, and I really did like Alice. Like I really did like her character. I loved the whole final act, where Alice was fighting Frau. I thought that was a pretty cool fight. I thought it was pretty cool. Some people didn't, but I thought it was cool. I thought that was cool. Like the only thing I don't like, the only thing I don't like about this film is how Freddy came back. A dog pissed on him. A dog used the bathroom on Freddy. That's how Freddy came back. I just didn't. I don't like that. You know, Freddy coming back because of that. Could have came out with something a little better. But Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is one of the funnest. It's one of the most creative ones, and it's the most creative one. It has some of the most creative kills, the most creative one-liners, and I love when Alice like inherits her friend's powers, her friend's dream power. That was very cool when she inherited her friend's dream powers, and that little montage scene where she was taking down like the pictures and she started dressing like her friend, and she had like the little ninja, like the little karate bandana or like the little wristband that I thought that was pretty cool. Like that was one of my favorite things. Like Nightmare on Elm Street 4, it's a very awesome Freddy film. Like I forgot how much I love this one. You know, I really do enjoy it. I mean, yeah, there's some problems. There's a smidge bit, but not much. The soundtrack is really awesome. I love the pizza scene. There's so many scenes that I love, and I remember seeing these scenes when I was like 8. I remember seeing these scenes when I was 8 or 11 years old and being blown away because of the technology that they had back then, and the way they was able to execute a lot of things, and they don't feel dated. Like Nightmare on Elm Street 4 to me don't feel dated, and same thing with 3. Like 3 and 4, but especially 4, don't feel dated. Like it don't, like the effects don't feel dated. And Nightmare on Elm Street 4, you know, my rating for this film is a 10 out of 10. Like I give the first Nightmare on Elm Street, as you know, a 10. I gave the second one a 7. I gave the third one a 10 out of 10. I give this one a 10 out of 10. Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Master Part 4. Go watch this film. You're going to have a blast. This is one horror film that I'm going to say I wanted more of. Like, to me, I wish it was like a few more seconds of film because it just ends abruptly, you know, and I just don't like when a horror film ends abruptly like that, especially when you see like Freddy in the water fountain. Like I thought he was gonna pop up. Like I thought he was gonna pop up, but he didn't pop up. Um, you know, so Nightmare on Elm Street 4, one of my favorite Nightmare on Elm Streets. I'm a really big fan of this film, like a really big fan. And not a lot of people talk about this Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Yes, the whole comedic Freddy not being dark, does bother me. Like Freddy being on a beach, that bothers me. But at the same time, I don't mind it because the story is awesome. The way they executed the new and old characters is just perfect, and you had enough screen time of the old characters to a point where you wasn't upset when they died. You kind of understood why they had to die to keep the story floating. But I just wish Kincaid would have not been killed off, because I really did love Kincaid's character, and him fighting alongside Alice. That would have been something. I would love to see that. But Nightmare on Elm Street 4, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's not the best, the amazing Freddy to me. That's the original. But Nightmare on Elm Street 4, it's one of the funnest horror films you will ever watch. I may watch it again this week because it's that much fun. Like my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street, my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street films are the original, Part 3, Part 4, The New Nightmare. They are my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street films. and Freddy vs. Jason, because I do consider Freddy vs. Jason more of a Freddy film. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Let me know your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street film. My favorite Nightmare on Elm Street film is going to be Part 1 or Part 3. Like, but seeing Part 4 again, like reliving Part 4, it's hard for me to say, is Part 1 my favorite, is Part 3, is Part 4, is The New Nightmare my favorite. It's really tied. If I had to pick one right now, I'm going to say Dream Warriors Part 3. That's my favorite one at the moment. But Part 4, I give it a 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comments below your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street film. And let me know, did you enjoy Nightmare on Elm Street 4? What was your first memory of watching this film? My first memory that always stuck with me was the cockroach scene and the pizza scene and the montage scene where she was inheriting her friend's dream powers. Them were the scenes that I always remembered from this film. So if you did enjoy my review, big thumbs up, please subscribe if you're new. Turn on post notifications. We're on that grind to 60 subscribers. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of Nightmare on Elm Street 4? You haven't seen it? What are you doing? It's just as good as Part 3. And it's basically the same movie as Part 3 with some minor tweaks. But I do, no, before I go, do I prefer 3 or 4? I prefer 3, but I do love 4 just as much. Make sure you give me a big thumbs up. Please subscribe. Give me a big thumbs up. Please turn on notifications, comment, and all that. And I'll catch everyone in the next one.